Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Stupid DVDs in the way! God damn it! God damn it, you're ruining my Christmas! Oh, okay. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. DVDs in the way and shit. Alright. Horse, you gotta start off with the...
That's all you're getting this Christmas.
Oh, look like we have a new friend over here. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's something inside our friend. It smells like... eggnog! I like our new friend. Don't you? Alright. What? Hold on. Hold on. Trying to get this right. Yes. I'm bald now. One. I don't know. I thought it would help this. It does sit on it better than when I had hair. Alright. Well, now I'm ready to go. Hold on. Eggnog is so good. Okay. And like I mentioned in my announcements video, I am doing Christmas related reviews all day today. So we'll start off with redoing all the Star Wars movies. That's right, we're going to redo all of them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. We're doing Christmas Vacation, especially if you read the goddamn... If you've seen the thumbnail and read the title of this video, you know that we're doing Christmas Vacation. Kiss my ass, kiss his ass. Happy Hanukkah. Whoa! That doesn't happen in the movie though, which would be funny. So, let's start off with my relationship with the vacation movies. Well, growing up, this was the only one that I had watched, right? And I've seen part of the original Vacation, but not all the way through. I've watched the remake, which was... a movie. Or not a remake, but the new one, 2015 Vacation, which is sort of not a remake, but a continuation with... I got my problems with that movie start with the fact that they cast Ed Helms and they should have had like Johnny Galecki or even Anthony Michael Hall, who was in the original Vacation movie. I mean, come on. But anyway... Johnny Galecki is Ross in this one. So, just so you know. So, what's the story? Well, I've always thought it was weird that they call it Christmas Vacation. They don't go anywhere. It's not a vacation. But, you know, to call it like Christmas with the Griswolds, that could be something. But, you know, it's a vacation movie. It's in the Vacation franchise, so they have to call it Christmas Vacation, even though it doesn't make any sense because they don't go on vacation. They stay at home. Always find that weird. Look at that. I took a, you know, I had, you know, dry skin there. Took a shower, and it peeled off. I don't know why I'm putting it out to you. I just thought I'd say something. Randomness, ADHD at its finest, folks. So anyway, what is the story? Well, Clark Griswold decides he's not going anywhere for Christmas. He's going to have a good old-fashioned family Christmas at the Griswold residence, and he's inviting his folks along with his in-laws over to the house. They also get an uninvited guest, that being Cousin Eddie, with his wife and his kids. And you know, this is the first time I've realized. But I didn't realize this. Mainly because I didn't realize it until I watched the Cinemassacre rental review on it. Go subscribe to them. They're very good. But they talked about how Eddie was Ellen's cousin. I'm like, no, he's not. He's Clark's cousin Eddie. And then I watched this. And he said, my cousin-in-law. I'm like, oh. How? I've been watching this for like 20 years at least. How have I never caught that? I always thought he was Clark's cousin. I guess he's his wife's cousin. He's Ellen's cousin. Also, does anyone else notice that when the cops come busting in towards the end, and they show them all, like, frozen, Ellen's got Clark's balls clutched in her hands, just like, you know, she's like cupping his balls to protect him, I guess? I don't know. But I'm gonna rush to the end. Talk about the beginning. You know, I always love the animated sequence at the beginning of the film. It's that time. You know, that whole Christmas song that plays. I always love that. The only animated part. It's the only vacation that has an animated opening. So I hear. I haven't seen the other ones. Part of the first one, but hey, you're blocking my camera. Stupid DVD. So, fuck off. So like I said, you know, it's just basically Clark Griswold trying to give his family the Christmas he's always wanted to give them. Well, being as Clark Griswold, things don't go the way he wants them to go. From the Christmas lights to the Christmas tree, the family get-together, relatives. I forgot about Louis and Bethany, who are what? Well, Aunt Bethany. So his great Aunt Bethany or his Aunt Bethany. They say it's her 80th Christmas, so she's got to be at least 81, right? Sort of. I mean, my son was born in August, and his first Christmas was technically, he was a baby, so she could have been born, like, just before Christmas, so she could be 80 years old. Who knows, but either 80 or 81. It's her 80th Christmas. But, she's one of my favorite characters, and she's not in the movie for long. Just like the last half hour-ish, and she comes in, and they ask her to say grace, and I love that exchange where she's like, I want you to say grace. What? Grace. Grace? Oh, she died 30 years ago. No, they want you to say grace. The blessing. And then she sits there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. This, you know, she does the whole pledge of allegiance. But the funniest part of the whole thing is that Eddie stands up and puts his hand over his heart. Oh. I love this movie. I really do. Whew. So, yeah. I know. No, I haven't seen the original. This is the first one where I haven't like seen the other ones, but I've heard that this is the first one where Audrey is actually older than Russ. Like in the original one, I know that Anthony Michael Hall was older than the actress that got to play Audrey. And then when they did the Vacation reboot, revive, whatever it was, continuation movie, whatever, the 2015 one, they brought back the original Audrey for a cameo, you know, and like, I think Chris Hemsworth was her boyfriend or something. I don't know, but yeah, I remember that. So if anything, if they can bring back the original Audrey, why couldn't they get Anthony Michael Hall to reprise his role of Russ for that film? Not to say nothing against Ed Helms. Ed Helms is a great actor. I love him, you know, The Hangover, something like that. But, you know, continuity-wise, if you bring in the original Audrey, why can't you bring in the original Russ? You know what I'm saying? Back to this film, though. I've never been a real big fan of Chevy Chase. I like him fine. This one, Caddyshack. I'll do a review on that at some point, but yeah, very good at nose. Saturday Night Live, he was great. Good at falling down. They had a thing when he was on SNL that they would start every week. He would fall down and say, live from New York. It's Saturday night. That was the thing until he left. And then he would also play President Gerald Ford, who would fall down, and I guess they made Gerald Ford look like an idiot. I don't know. I wasn't around at that point, so I wasn't alive when Gerald Ford was in office, so I wouldn't know. But, yeah. Chevy Chase, he's good at slapstick is what I'm trying to say. When it comes to, like, pratfalls, slapstick, he's good. And nothing, in this one, a lot of slapstick, a lot of good stuff. The Neighbors, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus and some dude who had never seen another movie since then. They're the worst neighbors in the world. Now, they would say the Griswolds are, but I mean, they're terrible people. They have no children. Have you ever noticed this, right? They live next door. They have all this money. They have all this, a nice house, all that. The one thing they don't have is children. Isn't that kind of sad? I mean, come on. Griswolds, they have a whole family gathering. And think about this, all right? The Griswolds, they have their children. Clark's parents, Ellen's parents, Louis and Bethany, Cousin Eddie and his family, all gathered around for Christmas. What do they have? No one, just themselves. But I'm assuming that they ended up getting a divorce after this because, they get in an argument over Clark Griswold, and Todd, which is the husband, leaves. And she thinks that Todd's trying to get back in the house, but it's really the SWAT team called on by Mr. Shirley's wife. And we don't really see what happens to them, but I'm assuming they got divorced. Maybe they don't belong together anyway. It's not very good. But anyway, yeah, so Cousin Eddie. One of my favorite characters of the movie. But not, like I said, Aunt Bethany's my favorite. She's just funny as hell. Well, it's got to be the combination of Uncle Lewis and Aunt Bethany, because they're kind of a double. Like, okay, he sets the tree on fire. First of all, people always, people wonder, how did the tree just like that? I've always thought that it's because the dog, Snuts, drank all the water. That the tree was, the tree was in the water to keep it, I figured that the dog drank all the water and it just so dry that when Lewis lit the cigar, But, yeah. And then he, even after that, he's like, my tree! And he's like, well, it was an ugly tree anyway. It was an ugly tree anyway. I'm just like, put it out of its misery. At least I put it out of its misery, or whatever he said. I love this movie. The one question I asked myself, okay, so this is the beginning of the movie, so it's a few days before Christmas, right? The family members show up, and on the TV, they're watching a parade. The parade happens on Christmas Day. Why are they watching a parade a few days before Christmas? Doesn't make any sense unless it's a videotape. They put it in. And it's talking about, the winds are terrible and moving things around. And I'm like, yeah, but how is there a parade? It's not Christmas yet. How is there a parade? Scene I always liked is when Clark goes to hide their Christmas presents, and he finds that there's one left from the year before, or maybe it's older than that. I don't know, but he finds one up there, and then he gets locked up there. So he starts watching old home movies, and then they pull the door and he comes crashing through or whatever. How does he not have a broken leg or a concussion or something after that? So I was wondering, how was he not hurt? He fell from the attic. After the thing was pulled, he would have knocked his head on something, broken a leg, sprained an ankle, broken his arm, or something. No injuries to notice. I don't want to criticize, but there's one particular part of this movie that's always irked me, and that's the Christmas light. I know they say he's never put up the Christmas lights before. So why does he have Christmas lights? He's never done it before, so why does he have a big ball of Christmas lights all tangled up in a box? If he's never used Christmas lights before, how does he have them all tangled up in a box? It's a funny gag. Post it off. Oh, here you go, Russ. If he's never put up Christmas lights before, this is what I got from watching it this time. Why does he have Christmas lights? Why aren't they brand new in a box and easy to put up? The only thing I can come up with is because there wouldn't be any slapstick to do if it was brand new. So they had to do the gag and then where he's got to put them up, and it's all just for that gag, basically. You think you got to put them up and fall down and do the slapstick stuff, but they just needed the gag of him pulling out that big old ball and had it thrust. Which, now that I've watched it, doesn't make any sense. And then we have that's not all about the lights, by the way, that always bother me. We have the drawn out gag of, the lights don't, he does the thing. Whew. There's a thing. And you can't get it to work. Nothing. He's having a problem. Hat won't fucking stay on my head. Shouldn't have shaved my hair off. Oh well. And he's having trouble with it and can't get it to work. And then have more drawn out is, Ellen goes to check the thing. She turns on the light. It works. But she doesn't know that she can't hear. Turns it off. It doesn't work anymore. Or he goes to check it and he turns it on. And then Clark, it works. He turns it off, comes out, it's not working. She goes back, flips it off. Yeah, Ellen, it works. And then she turns it off again. And then for some reason, she just thinks, wait a minute. It works. I never liked that. I mean, it's funny, sure, but it's just like I never got why they had to draw that out so long. Like 3 different times they go back to that room, and it's just like, I mean, one, Clark says he's going to go check the circuit breaker. So he's got to turn on that light. And then when she goes in and she turns on the light, that should have dawned on her, that's what happened. But if she has to turn it off, go to leave, come back, then turn it back on again. It's like, it just bugs me. That's all. Bugs me. It's just kind of getting long. So, let's get to the Mr. Shirley stuff. So, this whole movie has been about Clark wanting to put in a pool for his family. He talks to his friend about it at work. He uses bonus for this. And Mr. Shirley, by the way, is played by Brian Doyle Murray. That's Bill Murray's brother. But Clark's been talking about he wants to go put in the pool, and he even has the fantasy of the woman, Mary, that he meets at the lingerie kiosk, or whatever you call it, the lingerie store at the mall. I miss mall. But and the whole thing, and then he tells them, he He's waiting for his bonus. He hasn't got it, and he gets his envelope from work that he thinks is bonus. And he says, with this money, I'm going to put in the pool, and with what's left, I'm going to pay to fly you all back out here so we can christen it. And it's a year prescription to the Jelly of the Month Club. He gets pissed. He starts saying, you know, that he did it. I can't. I can't remember exactly what he said. Dickless, hopeless, whatever. But hallelujah, holy shit. That's all I remember. And so he tells Eddie. He tells anyone. He says, if y'all have looking for a last minute, if anyone's looking for a last minute gift idea, well, my boss, Frank Shirley, I want him right here from his little house on Melody Lane. I want him to pick a bow on him. All that stuff. And Eddie, being the guy that he is, does this. And he brings him, you know, to the Griswold house. And they have a conversation about how Christmas bonus. Mr. Shirley was getting rid of the Christmas bonuses this year, but he didn't tell anyone. That's your first problem, Frank. You ain't tell no one you weren't getting rid of the Christmas bonus. So, people were hoping on that Christmas bonus. You should have announced it sometime in June or even August to be appropriate, maybe September too, some appropriate time before December, to let them know there's not going to be any Christmas bonuses. Because we see it in Clark, but how many more people were hoping for a Christmas bonus? 2, something that always kind of got me. Why didn't his friend call him? Now, he's talking to his friend Bill at work, right? Told his friend Bill he was going to use a bonus to put in a pool, right? He asked his friend if he's got his bonus, and the guy said he called his wife, and his wife said there was a package, there was an envelope delivered, and that could be it. And then they both go home that night. Why didn't, I know that it's Christmas Eve and they're having dinner, whatever. But you could have a little time to call Clark. Maybe he doesn't have his number. You'd think they would have numbers, being that they're friends and all. You give him a phone call and say, hey Clark, I'll open the envelope from Mr. Shirley. It's not a bonus, it's a prescription to the Jelly of the Month Club for a year. Yeah, he screwed us out of the, he gypped us. That's bugged me the last several years I've watched it. Just like, why doesn't this friend, why didn't his friend call him to tell him that it's not a bonus? I mean, we wouldn't have that reaction, but he could still do the reaction. But, it's a great moment when an apology and everything. And the cops come in. And then the movie ends. And something I didn't catch till this time watching is there's that, in the end, when the music, it says the end and the lights break or whatever. And it starts, playing the theme song. And it just shows Clark standing there. And it starts backing away. I've always turned it off at that point. But what I didn't realize is that as it's backing away, it shows the dog sitting in front of Clark. And he goes down and he pets him. And I'm like, I never noticed that before. It's a small little thing, but I never noticed that before. There was also the explosion that caused the Saturn Ranger to fly up in the sky. I don't know. But yeah, Christmas Vacation. Very good movie. I gotta give it fuck it. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. That's right, I said it. A 10 out of 10. Christmas Vacation. It's a perfect Christmas film. I have little problems with it, but they're minor problems. Little continuity problems, whatever. Just minor, misjudgments, and it's nothing that's gonna ruin the film, of course. Just thoughts. But, you know what? That's right, 10 out of 10. Pretty good. Pretty damn good film. So what are your thoughts on Christmas Vacation? In the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. And Merry Christmas.